And for Off the Block, I'm Vane Lopes, and we are now joined by Lewis men's volleyball coach Dan Friend as his team defeated number 9 UC Santa Barbara. And coach, you now have the best record in the nation for the 2016 season. How would you assess your team's performance today?
Guess that's how it works when you play the first match in front of everybody, do you know what I mean? So I guess I'll take it for the day, do you know what I mean? But it was great. I want to compliment Santa Barbara for coming out here and, taking an opportunity to play us on that first match of the year. But, I thought our guys did a really nice job. We got lots of new pieces on the floor, and those guys were ready and took the opportunity. And I'm sure we made a few mistakes here and there, but really stayed focused and, we're anchored by some of our seniors at the same time. But just a really good early match. I mean, I'm sure there were some unforced errors on both sides, but I thought we took an opportunity and really went with it.
Yeah, and Coach, talking about one of the new pieces for your team this season, Julian Moses had 20-plus kills in the night, hit almost 500. What's the, for you, what is he able to bring to the court, and what can we expect from him throughout the season?
He kind of got a good flow. Do you know what I mean? He's an athletic young man and really kind of settled in and got into his role and did a nice job and took the opportunities when they came, didn't try to do too much, and just played a really complete game. And great to see him on that first match out. I think, he's been trying to get better every day. He learned from those guys last year watching Jeff Powell and Greg Petty and has taken some of that stuff to heart and is trying to use that and kind of make his own pathway at the same time. And we just look for him to slowly get better as the season progresses.
Yeah. And Coach, looking at on the other side of the net, UC Santa Barbara, they had a lot of service errors in the match. For you as a coach, when you know that team is just bombing it every single time, how do you adjust when you know that that's coming every single time they serve?
Oh, yeah, they've got some great servers on that side, too. And I think I think we got aced about 8 times. And definitely in Game 3, it put them in a position to win that game. Do you know what I mean? And so I think with us, it was just, talking about managing those serves when they come at us, not trying to make it perfect, being good with our feet, being good with our communication. And I think we settled down as we got into Game 4, and we kind of cleaned that up a little bit. And I think Michael Simmons, we got 3 freshmen passing. Do you know what I mean? And I think compliment to those guys of not getting shooken around too much. They did a little bit in Game 3, but I thought they settled down as the match progressed. And, granted there were some errors, but at the same time, we're both trying to serve tough so we can keep ourselves out of the system, and that's kind of part of the process. And we talked about in the beginning of the year, I think when you play these first few matches, it's really a battle of first ball contact stuff, whether it's serving or receiving. And I think the teams that can be a little cleaner in both those departments in the beginning of the year really put themselves in a good position to get wins.
Yeah, and we talked about your back row a little bit, but I want to ask you about the front row. Bobby Walsh seems to be continuing where he left off last year. Huge night in terms of blocks. How has he continued to develop this season, especially being a senior and kind of emerging as one of those leaders on the court?
Well, I think he's one of our captains. It's him and Scotty and Jacob Schmiegel. But I think, he's accepted that role, and it's a different role for him. Before he had all these 8 seniors in front of him, and he kind of just fit into it and played his level of volleyball. But now he's taken on a little bit more responsibility. And, not only is he kind of our anchor on defense, but I think at the same time, he's really trying to help these younger guys and mentor them. And I thought our net play was great, blocking, 13.5 balls and, really lining up and getting great touches. And so I think we blocked well, and then we outdug them, and so put us in a really good spot to, get some transition point opportunities. And I think, Bob and Schmiegel are big anchors in that, and with Bob himself, he's really taken that challenge and looked at it as kind of a different thing, with this team in terms of, how can I help these guys and how can I help myself perform? And I think it's just made him take another step in terms of the level he's playing.
Yeah, and Coach, it was the first opportunity to see you guys, also the first opportunity for people to see UC Santa Barbara. What was the thing that stood out the most and impressed you about UC Santa Barbara throughout the match?
Well, they're big and physical for sure. They got 3 pins that are all 6'5", 6'6" plus to get up and swing at a high, heavy, hard ball. And Jonah's a great setter at the same time. And so, I think they're going to be dangerous. Do you know what I mean? I think, they made a couple errors, maybe at some inopportune times, but just the physicality that they bring to the table is going to make them a tough opponent for everybody. And so, you're just going to see them get better and better as some of their new pieces kind of settle into their roles as well. And then I was excited how composed our guys were in the match. Early on match, and 3 or 4 freshmen down on the floor in terms of that, different pieces, and I just thought our guys did a really nice job of composing themselves throughout the game and keeping a good high energy level.
Yeah. And Coach, final question for you. I know it's a little bit of a short week of practice for you guys before your next match, but what's going to be the one or two big things that you're going to take from this match and want to work on in your practices before your next match?
Yeah, we'll get a day off tomorrow actually, and then we practice Monday and we travel Tuesday. So yeah, it's really kind of a really short amount of time for us in terms of prep. I think we'll just talk about what a couple small things we can clean up. We'll go back and watch some video, whether it's maybe a little bit of offensive connection or maybe how we're setting up on some defense stuff. We'll look to clean up just a couple small things. Really put some stress on first ball stuff, serving and passing, so that we get sharper in those areas. So that when we go on these road matches, that we can be as clean as possible. Because ultimately, all these teams are kind of playing their first matches too. And like I said before, I think those teams that are first ball contacted oriented, put yourself in a good spot.